Hello dear friends, I'm Marina and this video is about Gemini. The sign overall, the characteristics and the strengths, the personality of those people, the weak side, their shadow, and also how you can connect to this energy if you want to be more like the Gemini people. So first of all, let's explore the symbol of the sign Gemini. It's the Roman number 2. What does this show us to us? Of course, it shows the duality or the dual nature of those people. The fact that there are two sides within them or two faces. And sometimes there might be misalignment with each other, which can be very uncomfortable for those people. First of all, which positive qualities are close to Gemini? They can be very intelligent, they can be great thinkers, speakers, writers. They're absolutely wonderful with information. They're also the most flexible, the most adaptable sign. Why is that? Well, one of the main reasons because their sign is mutable air sign. Both of those characteristics can bring flexibility and ability to adapt to circumstances or changes. So this is something very close, very familiar for Gemini. They may change, they may adapt. They are also very good when they need to switch from one thing to another. They can be great multitaskers also. For example, they may do a couple of things at the same time. They may not be completely concentrated, and go really in depth into something, but they can switch from this to the next. They may have like 20 open tabs on their computer and at the same time they may cook something, they may watch television, and somehow they manage to do all of that. Now, what's the risk? Of course, the risk is that they may not be really focused on something. When you are multitasking, usually you try to combine all of that, but you cannot dive really deep into something. And that's one of the challenges for Gemini people, that they may lose their focus. They might be unable to explore something deeply because they are curious to learn something else, because they are not so consistent and they need more and more information, which sometimes can overwhelm them. And at the end, they may have a lot of information, but they may not have real answers, which is also very frustrating for themselves. Another weak side of the sign Gemini is their inconsistency. So, they might be inconsistent when it comes to their goals, to relationships, to their desires. They are changing their opinion frequently. And it's not that they're doing this on purpose. It's just, their need for change, for variety. That's what is pushing them to be so inconsistent. Of course, everything can be managed when they have enough motivation. Anyone can, can try to change, but their deepest, truest nature makes them more inconsistent. Now, also, another challenging side for Gemini is that sometimes they may love to gossip. They are always, learning about the information first. They know it all, but also they want to share it. And sometimes they are not the best choice to share their secrets because they can tell it to other people, sometimes not on purpose, but that's who they are. They share, they connect, they communicate. They may have many, many friends and people they communicate on a daily basis. They are just, very adaptable. They are very good with expressing things verbally, with creating connections. And usually because of this, because of the information that they have, they're also a great company. You can always learn something new from them. They can always, share a new idea or what someone else have done, or, it's a countless amount of information that Gemini people may provide. Now, what's also the shadow of Gemini people? The shadow is that they may not be able to see or to recognize the truth. And sometimes this may turn them into liars, into cheaters. Not everyone. Here we don't want to insult anyone, but generally speaking, Gemini have the highest potential to become liars because they think very fast. They can find solutions. They know when they need to, change the information. And literally, they're very flexible. And if you want someone to, make up a lie for you or an explanation for something, Gemini can be a great advisor. But seriously, one of the shadows, one of the challenges for Gemini is to stick to the truth, to recognize it, and also to realize it. Because sometimes, because of they are searching for their own truth, and this might be misalignment with other people, and this is also a reason why it may look like they're lying or they're, just not objective. But it's also part of their duality, the dual nature, the fact that they can see things from different perspectives. They can dissect things into small details. Sometimes it's preventing them from seeing the whole picture, understanding the deeper meaning, but recognizing the details, the small things. Gemini can be very precise and very skillful there. Now, what about their way of thinking? Great thinkers, very fast thinkers. They may find solutions, they may understand things quickly, they may connect different things, different knowledge, different information. So overall, intellectually, this is probably the most active sign, or at least one of the most active. Mercury is ruling their sign. Mercury is ruling Gemini. And Mercury is the sign of communication, the sign of connections and ideas. And basically, Gemini are great thinkers. And by the way, this is also their key phrase. Their key phrase is, I think, so I exist. So very, very important for Gemini people. When it comes to emotions, now here things are different. Emotionally, Gemini are not very deep. They can actually be quite superficial. They are not too, dramatic. They are not too empathetic. They are, not too deep in connected to their hearts. And when they are interested in a partner, when they are in love with someone, first the mind falls in love. You have to be interesting to them. You have to provide some kind of variety. You have to offer new information or some inspiration. That's what will make a Gemini fall in love with you. And here we can also expect that if there is no variety, no curiosity, no interesting experiences, Gemini are capable of cheating and lying and having multiple relationships at the same time. Now, about the personality of Gemini people. Usually, these are people who are young in their souls. They are cheerful, they are able to enjoy life, they are able, to look at things with a more detached approach without engaging too much emotionally with certain things. And also, even visually, they may look younger, they may act like teenagers, they are very flexible, they are moving a lot. And also they can make lots of gestures, you know, with their hands. They can be expressive, they can move a lot, they can change their posture. This is very typical for Gemini people, especially for Gemini ascendant. And also, yeah, sometimes they may even be childish, to be to be honest. They are capable of, you know, kind of being more superficial in certain points, but they're also very good with communication. If you want someone to teach you something really fast, Gemini is your answer. They can show you how to do things in practice. They're not so much the philosopher, you know, the philosopher is the Sagittarius or someone else. Gemini, they are about the practical use or the practical application of something. They will teach you how to use this information, why you need this information. If you cannot apply it in your life, if you cannot use this skill, Gemini are not so interested in that. But if it can improve your life, if it can make you faster or more competent or better in your job, then Gemini can definitely teach you how you can do that. Now, also, which are the ways that you can use to increase the Gemini energy within you? First of all, pay attention to the way you talk. Speech, the verbal expression, is something absolutely crucial for Gemini people. So observe the way you talk. What kind of words do you use? Which are the first words that you say to someone you have recently met? Or how do you describe what you do? So pay attention to all of the words that you use. Is there something that you want to change? Is there something that you want to improve? But also observe. Gemini are good with observing other people. And even though that we say that they're great talkers, they are also capable of listening other people. You know, the information is exchanged. It goes both ways. So pay attention to your words, but also try to be a better listener and pay attention to what other people have to say. Another suggestion to increase this energy: socialize with other people. That's something very important for Gemini. Go outside in the park and meet with someone, or ask your friends to meet you with their other friends, or maybe go and sign up for a training or a course. Find ways, healthy ways, to meet new people and to socialize, and use different approaches, experiment. This is also something that Gemini people love to do. The other way is also to do the opposite of what's natural to you. If you are someone who likes to talk a lot, then try to do the opposite. Try to stay more silent and let other people talk to you. So try to be a better listener. And the opposite, if you're someone who is not so much into talking and explaining, then put some efforts to do this on purpose. To, you know, start a conversation or to share a story, or generally, you know, to be more open to express yourself verbally, and practice this regularly, at least for 1 week. The other advice, of course, reading books. Gemini are in love with all kinds of sources of information. Books, television, radio, nowadays social media. So find ways to, you know, observe, to accept actually new information. Read books, or watch the news, or be more active on social media. These are things which also engage your mind and which can help you to connect more to the Gemini energy. And the last advice is to wear more the color of Gemini, the orange color. clothes, makeup, accessories, whatever you want to. This color will help you to connect more to the Gemini energy. So these are the main characteristics. To be honest with you, this is one of the easy signs. I mean, they're not too dramatic. They are not too serious about life. They can change, they can adapt, which makes them more flexible. Usually they're easygoing. Usually, they can create new contacts. So Gemini is not a bad sign to be. So I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Gemini, and what's your best quality that you would like to get from them? I think that for me, this would be their ability to look easier on things, which sometimes, others may dramatize. They may understand it more objectively, so to speak. So that's something I really love about Gemini. Also, don't forget that you can sign up for Mars Stars Astrology Academy. The waitlist is open. And if you are interested in learning more about astrology in general, but also in a very in-depth way, with a lot of information, with a whole understanding about how to use all of the different indications, then definitely sign up for our waitlist. We are starting soon and the group will be limited. Also, if you would like to read this information, you can find the link for the article below this video in the description. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.